Okay, so I am Seth, and this is my campus team experience. The camping can make a difference in my life, and the team made a difference in my life because it gave me work experience. It also gave me something to do during the semester when we bored in my house. I came into not wanting to do it, but I changed my mind quickly after the first day. Other than the summer job experience, the program also gave me more appreciation for the computer world. I enjoyed doing this, and I'm going to consider doing it again next year if it offers to me. I'd like to wrap up this slide by saying thank you to the instructors and our boss, Mr. Joe McComb and Mr. Brian Buckhurst. Password security and internet safety. When the camp began, we learned how to make sure our password was secure. The activity that went along with this lesson was an attempt to hack someone's Facebook account or whatever account they had. We were also given the assignment to try to figure out as much about a person as we could using online information. Another thing that happened during the first week or so is people from the IT department and Nationwide Insurance came in. They warned us against hacking and identity theft. They also showed us how to keep our passwords safe and how to be secure on the internet. What I learned about this. I learned how to have a secure password and how many characters long it has to be considered safe. You should also have multiple passwords for any accounts you have. For example, your Facebook password has to be different than one for your email or another account. Otherwise, you will be hacked into and your identity will be put at risk. Having a non-secure password also gives people access to your personal information. GIMP. GIMP stands for GNU Image Manipulation Program. It is used by web designers to alter, distort, and add effects to images or photos. Once you have gotten the image to look the way you want it, you can save it to your desktop and then upload it to a web page or another file. I learned the different ways you can change an image and make it ready to upload to the internet. Here's the image I made. Next slide. Audacity. Audacity is a program where you can record your voice and add effects to it. This aspect of the program makes it very similar to GIMP. You can also take a file and slow it down. You can also speed it up and make it sound like a chipmunk. If you want to, you can also do something else. For example, a song, a recording, or add effects to it. What I learned from this. I learned how to make an audio recording of me or something else to put on the internet. I couldn't think of anything to say, so Mr. McComb recorded himself saying, "Hello, how are you doing today?" I took his recording and cut it down to just the hello part. Movie Maker. You can probably tell that Movie Maker is a program that allows you to make movies using webcam. Mr. McComb and Mr. Buckhurst gave us the assignment of conducting an interview with someone in the room. I ended up interviewing Mr. McComb though, so they didn't figure out who else to talk to. Difficulties and what I learned. The only difficulty I had with Movie Maker was that I couldn't get the sound to work. Both instructors helped me make it so I can hear. Helped me to make it so I could hear my voice. Another difficulty was finding someone to interview. That's why I ended up interviewing Mr. McComb. I learned how to make movies using webcam and how to web design and blogging. In this part of the program, we learned how to work on coding to create a website for a superhero. I chose to do mine Superman. Later that week, we learned how to create a blog using WordPress. I had the idea of mine, which is about the Olympic Games, going around in my head for a while before the program began. What I learned. I learned that making a website takes patience and time. There's different codes for everything that goes with the website. With this part of the web design part of the program, I learned about the different codes and programming tools needed to make the website look the way we wanted to. For me, the blogging part was a lot easier than the website. I'm actually going on and continuing with mine. Scratch. Scratch is a 2D animation in Game Maker. It allows you to work with code and program individual characters, which are called sprites, to do what I want them to do. I created a game called Old Mr. Wizard about a wizard who has lost his hat and has no idea where it is. He has to look for it by going around the castle and collecting keys for points. He must answer the questions to go on to the next level in the game. With Scratch, I learned how to work with code and programming. It has to go in a specific order though, otherwise the game won't work correctly. This is just the screenshots and code from the game. Sample code there. Alice and Storytelling Alice. Alice is a 3D animation program. What you do is you take characters and insert them into a world that you have created for them. You can also make them do various things in that world using coding. This is one of the program similarities to Scratch. Storytelling Alice is another 3D program that uses code. Mr. Barker is an example for us before we could go on to make our own animations. I made a James Bond style animation called Dr. Doctor, I think I'm a secret agent. This was a really cool program and it was probably one of the most fun to work with too. What I learned more about coding and using programming. I also learned the different ways you can put things in order to make the animation move. You have to do this in order for the animation to look right. If you don't, the characters may lose a limb or two. Don't worry though, it's only a flesh wound. App Inventor. App Inventor is a program where you can create an app and potentially sell it on the market for Android phones. I created an app that was a quiz about the US government. I made the questions very difficult and gave the user 3 options for the answer. The codes were made using a part of the program called the blocks editor. This puts the codes in order, in the order you want each of the functions to go when the app is running. What I learned more about coding and programming. I also learned the different ways you can code something. It's really easy once you know what to do and how to work with the program a little bit. Time for a Q&A session. Where do I go from here? In the future, I want to go into journalism. Writing has always been a huge passion for me, and I want to make it my career. Do you know how to get there? Yes, I do. The first thing I need to do to begin my career is to go to journalism school. I also need to get my articles and other writings published. That way, I can get my name out there and have readers. What do you need to get there? Like I said in the response to the previous question, in order for my career as a journalist to begin, I need to go to journalism school. I'd also need to get married.